you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
All right, welcome into week 1 of the fantasy football season. I'm excited to actually talk some football, boys. How about you guys?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, I need my drink.
Gee, it is his first time on the show. First time on the show. We'll give him an excuse. So, shout out to Clay. He looks like he could jump in and be your guys' D coordinator.
2-0, baby. 2-0. About to be 3-0 tomorrow.
We know one thing, though. Yeah. The coaching staff would be better looking if you guys brought Clay on.
Probably, yes.
I mean, the guy
replace the OC, and then we're really good to go.
Yeah, I heard that OC. I hear he's not that great at drafting fantasy football teams.
Well, I mean, hopefully the kiddo looks more like Shelby than Creighton.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
We can all agree on that. So
that's a good one.
All right, boys. So we're going to have a very defined, layout with the way we're going to do these podcasts throughout the season. It's new. It's exciting. I hope that you guys like it. But instead of a weekly recap, since we don't have one this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. So as most of you guys probably remember, Macy got thrown into the fire and joined our league briefly for a year, some years ago.
R.I.P. Antonio Clown.
Yeah, and she got kind of robbed, auto-drafted. I think her top 2 or 3 players were, who was it? T.Y. Hilton, Antonio Brown, and Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she kind of got screwed.
She was a bye week for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But, hey, I will say, what's really funny is her 3 wins when she did play with us, Clay, were against the other 3 members of my golf foursome for Saturday.
Yeah, I remember that.
She beat Clay, Steve, and Zach, which is really fun.
I think she caught all of us on our bye week apocalypses that always happened to everyone. So kudos to her.
Yeah. So anyways, my brother created a league and Macy is in it and she drafted a team. And she actually got to pick her players this time in an auction draft. So thrown into the fire. I'm going to read you guys her team and I'm going to let you guys kind of grade her on her draft. Okay. This is with none of my coaching. Keep in mind. Let me find her here.
So it's actually going to be like an A grade.
I'll let you decide.
You said auction.
So
it was
first
auction.
time doing auction. First time doing an auction is intimidating.
2 running back, 2 wide receiver, flex, or what's the
same layout as our league?
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Half PPR.
Half PPR.
Okay.
Yep. So quarterback, she got Trey Lance. Running back, she got Christian McCaffrey. Wide receiver 1 is Tyler Lockett. She does have DeAndre Hopkins on the bench.
Okay.
For when he comes back. Tight end, Travis Kelce. Her flexes are Dalvin Cook, Cordero Patterson, and Jahan Dotson. Bills defense, and Daniel Carlson. So we'll run it down really quick. Trey Lance, Christian McCaffrey, Tyler Lockett, Travis Kelce, Dalvin Cook, Cordero Patterson, Jahan Dotson, Bills D, Daniel Carlson.
I'd give that a B+ for sure. I think that team keeps her in most games.
I was going to say, that's a pretty solid draft.
Yeah. She has 2 wide receivers that I'm iffy on, but she has Cook and McCaffrey.
She got any standouts on the bench?
Yeah, it was on the bench.
On the bench, she has Treylon Burks, J.D. McKissick. She did throw Brian Robinson into her IR. Jalen Tolbert, Damian Williams, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Browns D.
I'll give it a B.
It should be in the B range.
I'll give her a solid B.
Yeah, the wide receivers are kind of sus in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm with Patrick on that. I'd probably go B- or B.
Yeah. So
McCaffrey and Cook are nice. So
the thing is, if Trey Lance goes off, then I think she's set.
Yeah.
It all depends on Trey Lance and how they decide to run that offense.
Yeah, dude. So I was impressed that she was able to snag McCaffrey, Kelce, and Dalvin Cook. That's a pretty solid foundation build on there. So, anyways, just fun little life bit there.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. So I'm gonna let the deucer take over here, Pat, and talk about some injuries, and Clay can join in and talk about those as well, and then we'll move into some waiver wire players.
So the biggest one that I have on my board right now is George Kittle getting a groin injury.
Always
and
has an injury
possibly
as well.
possibly out week 1. He was not at practice today. I don't believe he was at Monday practice either. So things are looking a little rough for anyone that's got George Kittle.
Dude, for the dude being known as like a gritty guy and just a tough individual, he always has the most, I don't know, unfortunate type of injuries.
100%. 100%.
Yep.
Like a groin injury, you don't think it's that bad of a deal, but like if you tweak your groin, like people don't realize how much you use that.
Yeah.
Especially for a tight end. Hate to
At
see
number 2, I got Michael Thomas might be back sooner than expected. They're having him out with some more reps, and he's looking better and better. I don't think he's going to be a week 1 starter, but he might actually be back week 2 or week 3.
Remind me what his hold up was on his injury. Was it with his foot?
Yeah, it was a foot injury.
Okay.
He had surgery on it late in the season last year. They
Yeah,
thought he
yep.
probably wouldn't come back to the middle of this season, but now they're looking like he might be for like first couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Jalen Waddle and CeeDee Lamb both had some weird injuries during the offseason, but everyone thinks that they're going to be coming back. So if you're thinking about questionable, don't think of them as questionable. They're probably going to be starting week 1.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard or seen something about them being out.
Yeah. And then lastly, Alan Lazard for the Packers did not go to practice today.
Hammer those running backs.
Hammer
Hammer the running backs.
Aaron Jones.
Oh my God.
So he is likely out for week 1.
Damn, rip whoever has to go against Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is playing with like wide receiver 3s at best.
He's still
But
gonna
he has like 1A and 1B for running backs.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah.
All right.
All I'm saying is just like quick shuffle passes, count them as passing yards. Let's go.
There you go.
Cheat the system.
And then
I think that's gonna be a good game.
obviously the waivers. There's been some people hitting the waivers really hard. This guy over here
Can't decide who I want.
he has a carousel at his bottom bench spot. It's really quite comical to watch.
It's every year.
So it's just really musical chairs. Whoever he lands on, hopefully they hit. But yeah, top waiver wire players. Who do you think is good? Who's out there? Fill us in.
Obviously, just from a pure points perspective, Jameis Winston is probably the best one on the board right now. Do I think every one of these players that I'm going to be listing off and the one defense that I have, keep in mind that do not make anything before the end of week 1. Wait it out, see who you're going to like, see who went off, see who doesn't, then make your decision based on who I'm going to say. So we got Jameis Winston at number 1. We got Rex Burkhead, shout out to Nebraska, at number 2.
Rexy.
Randall Cobb at number 3. I love Randall Cobb just because 1, Alan Lazard is out now, and 2, they just have great chemistry. They had it last year. They're going to bring it back again this year. So I really like him being in this list. Curtis Samuel from Washington is going to be on here. And then the Bengals defense. The Bengals defense has actually been kind of on the rise within the last few weeks, which has been kind of surprising. So I think that gives them a spot in the top 5. Again, this is just based on points and projected points. Don't go crazy on this by any means necessary, but that's what we got.
I don't know. Brecken's kind of looking down. I think he's looking at a
I'm looking at it
prospective
right.
Winston ad here.
Well, I'm trying to see who's all on waivers here.
I have one that I'd like to add that list since the Alan Lazard thing.
Yeah.
Says he's healthy, but honestly, I've been hearing rumors that Aaron Rodgers has been praising Sammy Watkins a lot. Now, Sammy Watkins, that comes with a grain of sand. He's very injury prone. Yeah, he's very injury prone. So the likelihood of him, breaking out and being a stud art, like what was he, a pick number 4 like years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Likelihood of that panning out, slim. But I mean, if you need a pickup for this week and that Lazard's going to be out, Sammy Watkins might be a person you run with.
Well, Watkins always goes off week 1, so he might be a good one.
Hey. The best week 1 player in fantasy. Are we surprised that there was Packers on both of these lists?
No, because Pat put it together.
Okay. Yeah.
100%. Yep.
But I will say, if I'm going to take anybody's injury advice on a Packer, it's going to be Pat.
Shout out to the owners.
So back to Pat. The next section we got is trades, and we only had one trade in the league this year, but it's good to see that we had one. And
Pleasure doing business with you always, Pat.
Always pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, these guys are colluding over here. You heard it here first.
I think in the grand scheme of things, he's going to win it.
So we had Zeke and Destroy. Clay sent Christian Kirk to Pat in exchange for Brandon Ayuk. Breckon, what's your analysis on the trade? Obviously, these guys had their opinions of players and thought it was a good deal.
I don't know. It's too early to tell.
Does this make any waves for you, or is this just kind of noise?
What's that?
Does this make any waves? Does it bump Clay up, bump Pat up?
It's noise until we see what's going on. I mean,
my selling point for him was that we know Christian Kirk is undoubtedly probably the number one for Jacksonville. I wanted to take the risk with Brandon Ayuk being on a team with a quarterback that could possibly break out. And it sounds like he has a good rapport with Trey Lance. So I just wanted to take that risk because Christian Kirk was just going to sit on my bench.
Yeah. Two guys walking away happy. You like to see it.
I think it could go either way. Who knows? They might
exactly.
both
if it doesn't go my way, that's fine. I was willing to take that risk, but it also helps that I have Trey Lance.
He's trying to stack it.
Yeah, I wanted to get at least a 1-2 combo.
Okay, so let's get into our picks of the year. And the way we're going to be doing picks is we're actually going to choose a game from Thursday, a game from Sunday, and then a Monday night game, and pick the winners of the real NFL team. And then after that, we'll get into our league matchups. That's where the drama happens. That's where you call people out. It'll be a good time. So, yeah, we'll start with the Thursday night game. First game of the NFL season. It's a humdinger. Got the Buffalo Bills trying to circle the wagons in Los Angeles, playing the Rams.
And they are.
We'll start with the guests, as always.
They're also 2.5-point favorites.
Yep.
Bills are favored.
Bills are favored by 2.5.
Over the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. We got a Thursday game, Thursday night football game for the Broncos. So I might have a Creighton up there on his phone, updating me on the headset. We'll see. I honestly think the Bills take it. I had my 3-minute speech ready, but I was told not to do that. But I think the Bills take it week 1. There's been rumors about Stafford's arm. I don't know how he's going to do. Unsure about Cam Akers. I just think the Bills are a little bit more solid.
So to quickly comment on Matt Stafford's arm, did you all see the Amazon Prime promo that they did?
So stupid.
So stupid, but like that ball went far. That went a whole football field.
That had to have been fake.
And even if they change the aerodynamics or not of the football, right? Which I think they've said it's not actually changing the football. But if that ball can still go the entire length of a football field, I think we have no problem with his elbow. I think Matt Stafford's going to be fine. I think he's going to be. Yeah, I think there's no issue. If anyone has any doubts about Matt Stafford, get rid of him.
I would take Hail Marys to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
A whole other level. Be so much fun.
Yeah. So
I think the Rams are going to turn it on for this season, but I feel like every Super Bowl champion always has like a slump to start off the year, just a little rusty and stuff like that, trying to feel out some of the new players or figure out some of the holes that they possibly lost over the season. So I'm going to take the Bills and I'm going to hammer their 2.5 point favorite right there. So I think they get that and then some. I think it might be like a 10-point game.
Okay. To finish that off, I'm not going to stray away from anything you guys have said already. I just think the Bills are a more complete team. I think offense and defense, they're solid. The Rams, they got a lot of question marks. I think Stafford will be okay, but I'm more so worried about the running game. Cam Akers looked like a shell of himself at the end of last year. And if you're pretty one-dimensional against a good Bills D, I think that hurts you. So I'm going Bills.
Yeah. But, I mean, take into account last year, Jonathan Taylor, one-dimensional offense, scored 6 touchdowns against them.
Right.
So,
yeah.
if you're a Cam Akers owner, you might be, doing okay if he happens to break out, but I don't see that happening.
All righty. And for our Sunday game, it shows kind of an in-division rivalry here. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. With the news that Lazard might not play, the Packers are still a 1.5 point favorite. So this is expected to be a pretty close one. Again, it's at Minnesota. Brecken, which take?
I'm going Vikings. Since last year, I've kind of been on the Vikings train.
That's the choice.
Packers, a lot of new pieces. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll take them a while to gel. I think the Vikings, I honestly don't even think it's super close. I think the Vikings pull away a little bit.
I see a glare from you, Pat. What say you?
This is tough because I did not know about the Lazard injury until today when I was researching all of this. And I initially put in the Packers. I think I'm still going to go with the Packers, but I would take Vikings plus 1.5. I think it's going to be a very close game, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He will figure it out. He will make it work. And I think the Packers take this on the road.
Aaron Rodgers is on psychedelics, man. He's ready to rock. Clay, what's your take?
My take is that this is going to be a semi-high scoring game, probably like in the 30s. But I think Vikings pull away.
Okay.
It's only a 1.5 Packer favored game. And I think it ends up being like maybe a 7-point game. I think it's one possession game.
Yeah. So if this was at Lambeau, opening game, I think I would take the Packers just because the crowd energy would be something they could feed off of. But being at Minnesota, I think Minnesota's got the better team top to bottom. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. Skol. Sorry, Pat.
That's fine. Those are all fair takes. And again, we could very easily see either the Packers winning by 1.5, or we're going to see the Vikings just go yard, right? They've got Dalvin Cook. They've got Justin Jefferson. They have a okay quarterback at Kirk Cousins, but I mean, they
top 12 every year.
If you look at the Vikings offense compared to the Packers offense, like I would bet on the Vikings beating the Packers. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, right? I know he doesn't have the pieces that he did last year. I know he hasn't. He's old. He's getting older. He doesn't got the stuff that he used to have, and the Packers aren't helping him by any means necessary. But Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers, and I will make that bet.
So I think that's an ownership issue in Green Bay, but let's move on to our Monday night game.
Yeah, those Green Bay owners are dumb.
Yeah, we're going to go Denver Broncos, which are a 6.5-point favorite at Seattle. Seattle's got some question marks. Broncos have Russ. I think the NFL is setting up these games intentionally to create some storylines. Brecken, who you got?
Bronco Nation. That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm totally going with the OHS Broncos too, but
that's right.
Denver Broncos, I think, also by a lot.
That's right.
I think their defense is solid. I think their running game, and obviously Russell Wilson. I think they're going to be a solid team this year.
Sure, Pat.
Oh, I think this is peak Roger Goodell right here. Roger Goodell knows what he's doing with this game. Week 1, Russell Westbrook going back to Seattle.
So Westbrook.
Gosh dang it, Russell will every time.
Wrong
Russell
sport,
Wilson,
homie.
I know, wrong sport. Russell Wilson going back to Seattle to disrespect everyone there who shoved them away. He is going to go yard. 6.5 is just being nice to Seattle. Being nice. They're going to go yard. They're going to go hard. Broncos all the way.
Are you hammering the 6.5?
Hammer the 6.5. Bet the mortgage.
100%.
Right.
Take out a second mortgage.
Yeah.
Clay, I'm assuming you're in concurrence.
Yeah, there's going to be no 12th man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you too. I think the Broncos smash the Seahawks here. It's not close. I I think the better bet is, do you think DJ Chark, or not DJ Chark, DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson get into a shouting match or an argument?
No, there's no.
I heard there was some beef
I think
there.
there's no bad blood between them.
I don't know. I heard he was
If
upset.
anything, I think DK Metcalf is just pissed that they were able to get a quarterback that sucks for him. That or he has Geno Smith as a starter.
It's unfortunate.
That sucks.
It really is. So, okay, moving on to our fantasy football league. I made an error on the Google Doc. We're just having the guests pick all the games, and then I've chosen a game of the week for all of us to pick, and we'll get to that one when it pops up. So, Breckon, I'll let you kind of pull up the league here.
Right.
Have you had a chance to look at the matchups?
Honestly, I haven't even looked. I just know it's me and John. I'm kind of browsing through right now.
Okay.
The only one you need to know.
Game.
So we're going to kind of push through the gauntlet here, man.
All right.
And again, we're tracking these all year. So and I think, we might work out something where maybe we can buy you a beer, whoever gets the best score, something like that. We'll see.
All right.
So their first matchup is Prestige Worldwide versus Corn Kid.
It's Colin.
New and approved Andy.
Right?
Corn Kid is Andy.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's got Kyler Murray, I figured.
Yeah, he didn't try to go for 4 Arizona Cardinal players this
I
year.
know. All right, I'm going Prestige Worldwide. I think it comes down to the flex spots.
Somebody say flex.
What's that?
Somebody say flex.
I'm not a fan of DK Metcalf. David Montgomery. I mean, who knows how the Bears are going to function? And ETN with Robinson. I was on the ETN train until the whole Robinson train started rolling a little bit with him coming back. So he could be great. I don't know, but I'm going with Colin on this one. I think he's got a little bit better pieces. So I'm rolling Prestige Worldwide.
So our next matchup is Patrick's mustache versus your brother, Apollo Creed.
Oh gosh.
I think this is pretty.
How much did he bribe you to pick him, by the way?
If I pick against him, I'm going to hear about it for about 25 minutes on the way to work.
Just wear your earmuffs.
Yeah, but you have good reason to pick against him.
There's noise canceling headphones nowadays.
I honestly think I'm going to go with him. I think Russell Wilson had the big game. I think McCaffrey's back. He's going to be healthy. He's going to be healthy. I know Jonathan Taylor's there too, but CeeDee Lamb, I don't know. I'm not huge on Miles Sanders, McLaurin, or Harris. Who knows? Stevenson might be taking over. I'm not sure about McLaurin. I know they got Carson Wentz, but just different pieces there. And Miles Sanders, I think they're going to work Kenneth Gainwell in more, and Jalen Hurts loves to run the football. So I'm honestly going to go with Apollo Creed on this one. I think I might regret that. That's the toughest one in my opinion.
But that's the biggest point spread one too.
I know. ESPN's stupid.
Oh,
Mike Clay must be doing something wrong, man.
ESPN's dumb.
It's probably the problem that we have at the league, which is, the running backs get points for carries.
Mm-hmm.
That might be throwing it off a little bit. So next matchup is going to be Worse Than Rutgers versus Zeke and Destroy. So these two who made the trade earlier this year going head-to-head week 1.
Zeke and Destroy. I'm going Zeke and Destroy here. Again, I think Stevenson's going to kind of take over.
Got him for $4,
This
by
is
the way.
the only. What's that?
I got him for $4, by the way.
This is I just want to point out this is the only year in Zeke's career that he hasn't been on my team.
I know.
Yeah, can we ask you about
and
that?
And you let him get me for $25.
Well, I didn't have money.
Oh, dang.
I've obviously Creighton knows, but I've been a Zeke fan my entire he's probably my favorite player in the NFL. I love watching Cowboys games. I love seeing Zeke. It's tough because I love rooting for him. I think his biggest downfall was McCarthy coming in.
Yeah.
With Jason Garrett, run. McCarthy, it's a different story, and Kellen Moore. But I think he'll still be okay. I think Josh Jacobs starts the year off strong. You're good with Mike Evans, Aaron Jones. I'm not sold on Edwards-Helaire at all. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how Pacheco is going to factor in. I don't know what they're going to do. So Hunt, he's sharing time with Chubb. So I'm going Zeke and Destroy on this one too. Pat, got to get some wins to get to the playoffs. Rooting for you, but I think I'm out 0-1.
Not this week. Okay.
Next week ain't looking too good either.
The next matchup is your own Brecken. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we got the King,
This is tough.
the best record in the league last year, versus Creed's Warrior guys. And the King is actually projected.
He was 10-4 last year.
Was he? He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he lost in the first round.
Forgot. Yeah, he was. He was. Yeah. I'm not going to pull an Andy. I'm going to go with me.
Like it. Love the confidence.
Got to build my guys' confidence.
Exactly.
Drafted them for a reason. Get their confidence going. Quarterback matchup, that'll be tough. I'm sitting there. I'm just looking at different projections and stuff. Oh, Lamar's at 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, he's got Herbert. So that'll be interesting. I feel good about Henry. I feel good about Diggs tomorrow night. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I'm excited about Javonte Williams a lot. It'll be interesting to see how the Broncos use him. So hopefully a lot of questions answered week 1, but I think hopefully I can come out with it. Also, by the way, all of my team names, like the past 5 years, are Office team names.
Nice. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah,
but I think you need
they're all from The Office.
I think you need to match your logo to your team name, though.
I do. Last year I figured it out. This year I can't. I'll work it.
You can find one. I think you can definitely find a good Creed picture. If not, just take an ugly picture of your brother.
You just also look up pictures of the Scranton Strangler.
There you go.
There's a lot of ugly pictures of great.
So is Brecken picking himself comparable to Tyreek Hill, saying that Tua is a more accurate quarterback than Patrick Mahomes?
No, Brecken is actually logical.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So,
No offense to John. I think this is a good game. It's going to be close.
It's going to be very close.
I'm nervous. It's a good week 1 matchup.
it is. So, and again, our first I think it's 3-4 weeks are non-divisional, so we won't get in division play for a while. So these are all guys that you play one and done. So Next matchup is AFC West. Alexander, who is favored over Hurts Donut.
Oh, it's the last one on mine. Okay. I'm going AFC West here.
AFC West. Okay.
I don't know. I like the baseline that Pierce has. I like Hurts. I think he's going to be a stud this year. Eckler, obviously, stud. Dalvin Cook, stud. So it'll kind of depend on what Hawkinson does. And then Devontae Smith. I think Smith could be good. But just with the baseline that Alex has, just with Mahomes, I think he matches or does better than Hurts. Harris is going to get a workload. He might average 2 yards a carry, but he's going to get about 30 carries. Adams, stud. Waller, good. It'll be interesting to see Damian Pierce, week 1. See how they use him. But I think Alex's first week.
Comes out with a win, huh?
Yep.
Okay. And our game of the week this week, not trying to boost these guys' ego too much, but we're going Hard Knocks Life versus Kittle Corn, baby. I think this is going to be a barn burner. It's projected to have the highest point total between the two teams. And I think we're going to get a real good look at if Steve came to play this year. He kind of actually put together strategy compared to most years. So Brecken, who you got? Game of the week.
So I think it was last week when you guys did the divisional ranking show. That was last week, wasn't it? Yeah. When you guys were picking championship winners outside of myself, I would have gone with Steve. I thought Steve had a phenomenal draft.
Hold on. Rewind. Can we get that one more time?
Outside of myself.
I would outside of myself. Thank you, Clay. I'd probably go Steve. I thought he had a really good draft.
Sorry, I'm just trying to give Steve like a 10 to 20 second clip that he can just rewind and play over and over.
Hey, but his tight end might be out.
When he looks back and he's about 1-6, he can look back at this moment and think there was hope.
It'll be fantastic. So why do you have Steve?
I thought he had a great draft. You guys all know me. I reach out about trades all the time. I just like talking trades. I reached out to him before the night even ended on draft night. I wanted Justin Jefferson bad. Dude's going to ball out this year. In my opinion, he's the best receiver in the league.
I like how he put unlikely to trade on him.
What's that?
He put unlikely to trade on Justin Jefferson.
I hate that. Never say that a player's off limits. I don't like that. There's got to be something.
Awesome.
Got to be something. But anyway.
Unless that player is Jamal Williams.
Alrighty, Pat. Who you got in the game of the week?
So I've got Hard Knocks Life on this one. Mostly because the George Kittle news concerns me. That he's going to be out week 1. And if I think he's out week 1, he really loses some points here. And I really thought Beery had a good draft. Obviously, Steve had a great draft. But I think in terms of it's going to be close. If George Kittle is out, Hard Knocks Life wins without a doubt. 100%. If he is in, I think Hard Knocks Life just slightly gets over. I think we're definitely going to see the 2 highest point totals. I just think Hard Knocks Life is just going to get a little over the edge.
Okay. Clay?
Can we back up real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Pat, did you say Jamal Williams? Did you mean Javonte Williams?
I meant Javonte Williams,
Yes,
but I said Jamal Williams.
Darnell Mooney being offered. Not a straight up. No.
No, your trade, no, Breckon, your trade was
so my
an
choice
awful
is
offer.
going to be
You're telling me Devontae Parker, Mike Davis, Gus Edwards, I can't even remember the other one, for Christian Kirk that's way more valid than
No, it's
Darnell Mooney
not.
for Devontae Williams. That's a wide receiver 3 for an RB1.
Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
I choose Steve. And the reason why I say that is because I don't understand why ever since Brian Robinson, ever since he got shot, Antonio Gibson got like 6 extra points added to his expected point total.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I don't understand why Gibson's getting 18. Same with Miles Sanders. He's like projected for 15. And I'm like, all my running backs are projected less than that, I think, than Jones.
I think Antonio Gibson's stock went up because of that shooting, just because he's probably going to be getting more targets or more handoffs now. I agree. I don't think he's going to. I think I don't quite understand it either, but I think ESPN's thought process was that he's going to be being looked at more.
I think it's going to be a good game and close, but I think Steve finally puts it together this year.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it is Washington and Jacksonville, so like it could be just a really garbage game, like where they just don't score many points. They just don't look good.
Yep, I think I'm going to round that out and go with Steve as well. Just because, like you said, I think the projection on Antonio Gibson might be a little off there. The guy can't stop putting it on the turf, so even if he scores a touchdown, gets 6 points, he's going to fumble 3 times and loses 6 points. And then Michael Thomas, I think he's very, very questionable this week. Pretty up in the air. That's a bold move. Again, Zach could change that, and we'll see what he does. But I think Steve has Josh Allen. I think that game's going to be a shootout. And I think Josh Allen himself puts up probably 30 to 40, and that puts Steve over the top. So despite Kittle, I think he'll be able to find a suitable replacement if Kittle's not able to play. It'll be interesting to see who he drops if that happens. But I think Steve takes this one, and he shows us what he's about week 1.
I like it.
I like it too, boys. So, okay, I had one more discussion point I want to talk about before we get to our outro cheers. It'll be quick. I just want to hear your thoughts. Do you guys like, it's either or, do you like choosing a team name to people on your team or changing it up every year? Or do you like keeping it the same and doing it for the brand? Breckon, thoughts?
I kind of like changing it. I probably should stick with what I won my championship with, which was Scott's Tots. I might come back to that if this one doesn't win me, but I kind of like changing it. Adds a little flair, a little personality. But I mean, you get a guy like Creighton who keeps it. I don't know. Some guys keep it, some guys change it. I think that's healthy for the league.
What is Apollo Creed, anyways?
He's Creed. Well, yeah, I don't know. He thinks he's cool.
It's probably like his team name when he was in like 5th grade and won like Dynasty on like NCAA like 12. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay Apollo Creed for the rest of my life."
He's referring to Rocky.
You guys probably have a play called Apollo Creed for
We don't. We have 3 little pigs. we have Hook 'em.
Hey, we don't want the opponents listening to this podcast, okay?
Pat, what do you like? Do you like changing team names, or do you like those to stay the same?
So people forget that when Macy left the league, my first year I left Antonio Clown out of respect for Macy and for inner time. And then I changed it to Worse Than Rutgers because obviously I went into last place. I'm always in favor of changing team names, I think, just because it adds a little flair and a little bit of fun. But I also would not be opposed to just have one team name, because then everyone knows, oh yeah, Mitch's team is Patrick's Mustache, or Creighton's team is Apollo Creed. Everyone knows that, So in terms of consistency, it would be nice to have everyone have the same team name, but at the same time, I also enjoy the creativity from people.
I like being able to have the creative aspect.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's like Breckon said, it gives your team like your own little personality.
Yeah. Personally, I like doing it for the brand every year. I think Prestige Worldwide is a, phenomenal
staple.
Yeah. If you have a good team name, go for it. I mean, I'm not saying Creighton has a good team name, but you do you, bud.
We might not have, all the ladies on the boat every year in our business enterprise, but we do the best that we can. So, all right, guys.
But it's honest work.
It is. I do like you said, Pat. I love how I know every single year Creighton's Apollo Creed. I'm Prestige Worldwide. Who else do we have that's fairly similar? The King. That's John every single year. I just like it. If you find something good, stick with it. Why change it? I'm really hoping that Corn Kid stays forever.
Oh, I think it will.
For Andy. God, and I really hope Patrick's mustache sticks around.
God, it'd be so
good. The kid is a national treasure. I love him.
So
the kid is going to make millions off of just like little advertisement bits just because he said he likes corn.
Yes.
Talk about the American dream.
This is the dream. All right, boys. Breckon, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. This was obviously as important as watching film.
Oh, for sure. So Hayes in the bun.
Oh,
exactly.
One last thing, and we need to know this. Was Creighton actually writing down stuff for the draft, or was it just tic-tac-toe?
He was probably writing stuff down, but he didn't have a plan. I think he was just writing down his roster or something like that.
Thank you. We heard it here first.
He does. He's a guy. He'll do his research and stuff, but he won't write down. He might have had I don't know. He probably did have something, but it's just super thrown together last moment type of thing. He had a plan though, but I don't know how much he was really writing.
So he's kind of like a paper tiger, like, it looks really scary, but when you get underneath everything, it's just kind of tame and mild.
He's just gonna go do it. Just one of
those things.
His big strength is, he'll draft well, but he always makes moves throughout the year, and that's what it is. You never win your league at the draft. It's a fun thing about fantasy football. You got to go make moves during the year, which that's the fun part. Sometimes you're shoot out of luck on trades. Sometimes they work out great, but that's the fun part of is taking risks and doing all that good stuff. So
from the inside, boys, not quite playing tic-tac-toe, but also not much of a plan. All right, guys. Again, Breckon, thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Cheers. Thank you. Guys, I love the format.
Yeah,
look forward to doing it every single week.
We're gonna get. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot more, shit talking as the year goes along here as things start to heat up. So
I didn't do much tonight. But
go Broncos! 3-0. 3-0.
Breckon, good luck tomorrow, guys. Go crush them.
Appreciate it.
Cover the over, please.
Thanks for having me on.
Boys.
Yeah,
Have a good
later.
night.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.